Welcome to the 228th episode of the Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on April 14th, 2021. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and 50% of this here show with me is the man who is just brimming with news, Carlos Rodella.
I've got the news for you.
You do.
And a song, apparently.
Apparently a song. We've got the news, sound, jingle, whatever that is. And we've got lots of housekeeping today, which we always open the show with. Lots of games today as well. Going to be a regular episode. And I say, let's just get down to it, Carlos.
Yeah, there is so much news. Like, if we're talking about the house being dirty, it is a mess.
It is. Your half of the house divided by duct tape down the middle of the living room is a mess. My side is absolutely empty. I have literally nothing to bring to housekeeping today.
Yeah, I basically am like a hoarder on my end.
Oh wait, no, I lied. I got one thing, but you might bring it up. I bet you're gonna bring it up.
Oh, okay, I have a lot of stuff on the my side of the house. So
do it. Clean it.
Okay, let's clean a little bit. First off, PlayStation 5 has a system update. It's not that big of a news, but it happened. So if you have a PS5, if you're lucky enough to have one, they did an update. Some of the stuff that is important is there's some social sharing that they added to it that's a little better. And the main thing is you can finally store your games and stuff on external USB drives.
Could you not do that before?
Yeah, I guess not.
I mean, I had an external hard drive. It's already been attached since I got it. Is that not the same thing?
It's not, because it's the games themselves. Like, I think you can, like, I've always taken off media. Like, I'll capture footage and put it on my USB and my PS5. But this is like, I guess you could put the games themselves on the drives.
I mean, are they making a differentiation between keeping a game on an external hard drive and an external, like, thumb drive? Like, is that a difference that needs to be made?
Did you ever put a game from your PS5 on a drive?
Yeah, I got a bunch. It's plugged into it. Like, the day I bought it, I plugged in my old PS4 external hard drive, and because that was part of the setup. It's like, oh, if you've got one of these, plug it in now. And I'm like, okay, cool, I will. And I did.
I didn't do the homework, so never mind. I'm starting with the wrong story because
come to us for all the hard-hitting news, folks. We've got all the facts. We know
everything without doing any homework. All I have written down is store games on external USB drives, part of PS5 system update. So I guess it's not a new thing. Never mind.
I mean, maybe you're correct. I know I got one and I know it works. I guess I'm just not sure what the difference is. Maybe there's some kind of detail that we're missing here.
We can look it up on the Google.
All right.
Yeah, okay. There it is right there. It says new PS5 update allows you to store PS5 games on USB drive. I think it's the PS5 game part of it.
Oh, maybe PS5 specific games,
yes,
maybe?
Yes.
Okay, maybe that's true. Okay. That makes sense.
All right, we've got that.
Oh, there we go.
We win.
To the bottom of it. Mystery solved.
Another big update for me and a lot of people out there who is part of my community, our community, the Cyberpunk community.
I was just going to say, what community is that, Carlos?
Yeah, it's Cyberpunk Hotfix 1.21 came out today.
Okay.
It's a couple things are pretty cool. One, as soon as it came out, they're in Poland, them being CD Projekt Red. And so I get up usually like 6 or 7, check my phone, and it's like, oh, this already happened. So I just jump out of bed, and this morning I put up a video, like not even awake. And
it's amazing. You just like sleep. Some people sleepwalk. You do sleep videos.
I sleep video. Yeah, I like literally. I start the video by saying like, "There's crap in my eyes. I apologize."
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then, by the way, one of the first comments was like, "Your eyes look fine."
That's nice that people are looking out for you like that.
Anyways, the couple things they did. I mean, there's a lot of little fixes they did for the gigs. Like a lot of the little missions you have around the map that aren't the main missions. There's so many of them. And as I probably told you in this podcast, I've cleared out all of them. Except like 3.
That were bugged. Like you couldn't finish them because they were bugged.
Yeah. So one of the ones, the biggest one I wanted to get fixed, the one with Bugbear and the Getting Warm request, they fixed. But I had already found a workaround. So I was like, well, I could have just waited, but they did fix that, so that's cool for other people.
So you did finish that quest, but you somehow jimmied your way through it.
Oh, I didn't tell you. Yeah, I forgot. I get confused because we do this show every week, but then I also do a million videos. So
sure.
Recently, I found a YouTuber who basically said, "Get this." This is the workaround before the hotfix.
He said like and subscribe.
He said like and subscribe first, smash that like button, hit
Smash
that bell
it.
notification, which I've never said. I've never said
You got to start saying it. That's what all the cool kids say.
I know. Maybe I will. Anyways, he said go to the area where that's bugged and then leave the building and go 500 meters away.
Oh, God. Okay.
And then come back and it'll be fixed. And he was right.
How do you know what 500 meters is in the game?
There's a little
map?
thing.
Little
There's a map
tool?
and you drive. Yeah. You know how when you put like a little pinpoint down, it tells you how far you are away from it and stuff?
It would be really amazing if you could have like a mod on your body that was like a tape measure. Like your left ring finger becomes a tape measure.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Okay,
you could just measure things.
We gotta get back to the news. The point of this is I did a workaround, so thanks to him, and I thanked him in the video, but now it's fixed for real. And then the second thing is, and this is actually pretty big, the cop system in that game has always been weird, where essentially if you do a crime, like all of a sudden the cops will just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, we mentioned this a couple episodes ago. I remember this.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. So they almost fixed it perfectly because, yes, the cops will come after you. They take their time. Like, you know, they got to come around the corner. They might appear here and there, but it's not as crazy and like magical as it used to be. And the coolest thing is if you get far enough away from them, which sounds normal and should be in any video game, you can actually escape them. Because like how it originally happened is that you can never escape them.
We need to pause on that for just a moment.
Yeah.
I love the level of realism that is being injected into Cyberpunk 2077. If you get far enough away from the cops now, you can get away from them. That is amazing.
Yeah. It's we're moving in the right direction.
In the right direction, absolutely.
I think they do a lot right. It's just that is the weird, most glaring thing is their cop system. So I tested it out today and like I alerted them. I was fighting them on this bridge. Then I went onto a roof where they couldn't really get to. You know, they couldn't just warp to. They'd have to like go down the street and like get up the thing, and they couldn't get to me. And for me, that was a revelation. I was like, oh, I'm free. Like they can't get me over here.
As long as you're on a roof.
As long as you're or far enough away. Anyways. That's a pretty big deal, and then they fixed a bunch of gigs and stuff. I just like the fact that, they're going to continue to support this game, even in the smallest of things, which is they supported like 25 different little quests that, like, how many people are doing those? Not everybody.
I mean, I do have to challenge you a little bit on this. I get what you're saying, and I love your enthusiasm, but I think for me anyway, and maybe you disagree, maybe listeners disagree, supporting the game is not the same as fixing a broken game. Like, I think they're still fixing a broken game. Supporting it means like, in my mind anyway, it means like new DLC, new hairstyles, new content. Hey, there's a couple new quests. Like, that's like support. But this is like, we're still fixing our broken ass shit is what it sounds like.
You're right. And support's the wrong word because they will support it as well and DLC's on the way.
I would hope so. Yes.
But I guess some of it is like little bugs that might never get fixed in a game release if there weren't patches, like you would just live with it. I mean, this is a tangent. We don't need to go in now, but like we talked before on the show and I talked in videos, Skyrim, Fallout, all the games you can think of that launched with bugs and never got them fixed. Some did, some didn't before the era of patches, right?
Yeah.
You were just like, oh, this is just kind of fucking weird. Like it's kind of janky over here. I'm just saying that they're supporting the fact that they're, continually updating little teeny glitches. Like that little quest I just talked to you about the bane of my existence.
Sure.
Is like nothing compared to the full game. Like people would never have to even see that quest. But yet they're going in and going like, well, we see it's a little janky, or it doesn't work or something. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, to tag on to that, I just read an article this morning. Okay, full disclosure, I glanced over the article. I didn't read it from top to bottom, but it was with one of the CD Projekt Red developers, and they're saying, I think it was in regard to how people are just kind of like not. It's Cyberpunk kind of disappeared a little bit. Like it hasn't stayed in the zeitgeist the way that like Witcher 3 did, and they were saying, oh, we know about everything, we recognize what's happened, but we expect this game to keep on selling well for the next few years. And if that is their belief, which I think is a reasonable belief, that, I think it would definitely behoove them to keep on fixing, to keep on patching, to keep on polishing. So, I mean, I'm glad they're doing it, right? Like, I love The Witcher 3. I really would like to, I'm looking forward to getting into Cyberpunk at some point. And if their plan is to ride this cyberpunk pony for the next couple of years, they definitely got to like make sure this thing gets polished. So good on them.
Yeah, and there's no reason not to because I mean it's a great world they created, and like I said before, on PS5 and PC it works, or Xbox Series X as well. Like it works. You know, like there's no like reason if you have one of those systems you can't get into it today and finish the game and have a good time. They're like, the bugs are not like what people remember them as. So, anywho, Cyberpunk Hotfix 1.21 is up. I have a video on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/a lot of things, and that's that piece of news. Another piece of news, there's only 3 more maybe.
All right.
Core is launching tomorrow.
Oh, I just heard about this. Wasn't today the announcement for this? Is this the
Tomorrow.
first time we're hearing about it today?
Well, today we're hearing about it, and then tomorrow Jeff Keighley's doing a live stream with the people who are working on it, which is Epic Games Store.
Yes. Okay, so I don't know barely anything about it. You want to what do you know, Carlos?
I know the bare minimum, and it's all you need to know, which is, one, you're probably hearing this on Friday, so you've already watched the showcase, hopefully. If you haven't and you missed it, go back and watch it. I'm sure it's on Jeff Keighley's Twitch stream. But is an indie game platform with 20,000 games.
That's why I saw that. He's like, we're launching with 20,000 games. And I'm like, okay, that's quite a claim, Jeff Keighley.
Well, it's similar to like Dreams, right? Where like they have been having this development platform and then people have been using it. And at some point they're going to launch it and say, hey, okay, all those games you guys have been working on and gals, that we can launch them to the world and show people. So I am very interested.
I'm interested / curious. I don't play anything on PC, so I'm probably not ever going to do anything on it unless they somehow have some kind of client that goes on to consoles or something. But I mean, that claim itself is kind of crazy because 20,000 of anything, they're not all going to be gems, right? Like, I mean, they're not, but just by like the law of averages, a certain number of those are going to be like super clunkers. And I kind of wonder, launching with that many games, I'm curious how that's going to go down because you're already going to get a lot of complaints about some games not being surfaced, discoverability being a problem, developers who've been working really hard. Nobody's ever going to see their game because there's like 19,999 other games on the system. I mean, there's a lot of like, how, why, like, what's your plan? Like, I mean, TBD, of course, but a bold claim. I'm very curious to see how this shakes down.
Yeah, and they spent some money on it too. I was looking at this article. It said like spending $15 million to.
Oh, shit, they can spare it. They got more money than
yeah, that's true. That's true. No, he's got a lot, bro.
I saw his statement, and like Epic's right there. They're literally right there.
Really? Yeah. Wait, you've been going through God's receipts?
I mean, he leaves it laying around.
He does, though, doesn't he? Though.
Yeah, he does. It's there if you believe.
He's a little messy. People don't know that. Nice guy. Or nice being.
Nice being, yes.
I know. We got to get over that. That's a whole tangent, too.
That's a whole separate show.
By the way, we talk about all these separate shows. We should do one of the separate shows.
We got to finish this show first, man.
Okay. So I'm going to check it out. I think, to answer your question, similar to Dreams and similar to just games made with Unity, or like, how about this? How many games are on itch.io, right? Like a fucking ton. And so, I'm sure they ported over a bazillion of them.
They must have.
Yeah, and I'm sure that whatever new tools that the developers had, it'll be interesting to see what they do with them. I am a sucker for indie games in any way, fashion, or form. And also, my new PC, which we haven't really talked about, I don't think, on the show.
We mentioned it once. We did.
Okay. Can very much handle pretty much any game, obviously indie games. And it's got a nice screen, so I'm going to jump into this, and I'll report back on the show.
Sounds good. Yes, I'm going to keep an eye out. I don't think I'm in the target zone immediately. Maybe I will be later, but I'm definitely curious. It's a bold claim, a bold move, and I'm very, very interested to see what happens here.
Speaking of indie games, Indie World Update dropped today.
That was my piece. You stole my piece, but
that's your piece. That's and you please tell me, because I have not watched it yet.
I just watched it. I literally just watched
it. How perfect is that?
Good teamwork, even though we did not plan this.
We don't plan anything.
Nothing at all. Yeah, it was good. I just watched it like maybe half an hour before recording here. I got the whole family together on the couch. We watched the whole show. It was only about 20 minutes or so, give or take. And it was just like trailer, with a little bit of talking from some of the devs, not all of them. But I got to say, it was a pretty well put together show. Just, lots of variety, lots of different indie games. They announced like Ollie Ollie World, if you like the Ollie Ollie series.
Ooh, that's a fun game.
I'm terrible at those games. I think they're really fun, but I'm terrible at them. But it's kind of like a more, I don't want to say open world, but like a really expanded, quest-filled kind of skateboarding world. They had one that was coming from Konami, and I don't want to mispronounce the name, but it's like a really done in the style of like Japanese paintings. It looks just like kind of a painting come to life, which is really cool. Some sword action there. Skull, which we reviewed at Game Critics a while ago, got really good marks at our site. Is coming to the Switch. Ender Lilies, which is another kind of like a 2D side-scrolling action game, which again got previewed really, really well. I'm very excited about that one. The Longing, which is one I've been very curious about. Very curious. In fact, didn't you play this, Carlos? I feel like we talked about it on the show.
We brought it up on the show. I never finished it because, if anybody wants to know, it is a game that takes 1 year to finish.
400 real-time days. 400, literally more than a year to finish.
More than a year.
That came out, I believe it's out today, I believe. And the sequel to, oh man, I'm blanking on the name. Oxenfree 2, which I did not care for, but I know that you liked it more than I did. That sequel is coming out. Annapurna had a couple games that looked really strong. One coming from the developer of Virginia. If you remember Virginia, did you play that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
They have a new one coming out, and then there's another one that looked really like kind of thoughtful and introspective, kind of like most of Annapurna's games. But I mean, overall, great variety, great indie, like real strong indie presence, man. Nintendo is, they were like anti-indie for so long, and now they are deep down with the indies right now. So I'm really loving that. Lots of good stuff coming to the Switch.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely like how they've embraced it for a long time now. It's not a new thing, really.
No, but like relatively new, but no, not new.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about Switch, and you talk about Switch every episode,
oh sure,
there's a lot of indie games obviously on there. So
sure.
That's cool. Indie games for the win.
Absolutely.
Speaking of indie games, one more time to kind of do this as a triple.
Okay.
My buddy's game, Dragon Audit.
Yes, I saw it pop up on the various online stores.
Yes, it's coming to console. By the time you hear this, it'll probably be up on PS4 and Switch. So those are the two consoles it's dropping on, and it already was on Steam.
I got to ask you, I was going to buy this just because you said it was your buddy's game. I don't know that person, but, want to...
Robbie, yeah.
Want to support, by extension here. Do you feel like it would be okay on the Switch, or should I go on the PS for this?
I would play on the PS4 because I like the colorful graphics. I like the art, and he gave me a little insider information about how the Switch was a little bit tough to port because it is a smaller screen in general.
Exactly. Lots of people get tripped up on that.
Yeah, and I mean it's a great port, so I would recommend it on any platform. But I think I like seeing the whole artwork on a bigger screen. So I would say PlayStation.
Okay,
for me.
That makes sense to me. I love the Switch. Don't get me wrong. I love my Switch. I probably put more time on the Switch than anything else. But man, nothing bums me out harder than a port that just doesn't take into consideration the reduced real estate on screen. It sucks when you play something and the text is too small or the menus are too small and you're just getting fucking eye strain the whole time. I love a good Switch port. So if he feels like, or if you feel like the bigger screen is worth it, I'm going to go that way.
You know what? I don't know now because I know the text is big enough. I feel like everything is, because he did have to do a lot of work. And so I have a feeling that it's great on both. So I know you play more on the Switch anyhow. I'm almost saying maybe you should get it on that.
Maybe. And again, this is called Dragon Audit.
Audit. And so real quick pitch about the game before we go out of news is, it's a comedy game. So it's a comedy adventure game. And you do control a character, third person, running around. But you control a couple different characters, and I don't want to spoil it because it's a very short game.
Are we talking point and click here, or are we talking...
No. With a controller.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a lot of really cool... I've been playing it for a while, in development, so there's a lot of really cool updates he's done, and it works really great on the PS4. I just like how the analog feels, and the camera, etc. So, yeah, it's really a comedy-based adventure game with some puzzles. One puzzle that's very hard. And it's really just about the writing. I love his writing. I love his comedy. We've done shows together and, sketches and stuff. So if you like comedy and you like dragon women, like a dragoness.
I mean, who doesn't, dude?
Who
Get
doesn't?
Real. Who doesn't? I got a question, though.
Yeah.
I am shit at math, dude. I am the artistic, creative, literary side. My wife is the math side of the family. So I am terrible at math. This game is called Dragon Audit, and I assume that some kind of bookkeeping happens here. Is any of the puzzles to do with math or like actually balancing the dragon's books, anything like that? Because like I
Yeah.
might be out at that point.
No. Dragon Audit mainly is just like for comedy. And he basically, there's the main character that you play is basically has to go audit a dragon that lives in a castle. And that's like just funny. Like it's a hilarious premise. But there's only one puzzle that actually involves like kind of numbers. And it's not really straightforward math. It's more of a logic puzzle. That one's really tough, and that's the only one that stumped me. But no, the whole game is really about just. It feels like a Douglas Adams book or something.
That's fine.
Like,
I don't want no bookkeeping simulator going on here. So
no.
Okay, none of that.
You're like combining objects. The thing that I sometimes don't like doing, but
Sure.
every line in this game is funny to me. Like if you pick up something, like an example is you see this barrel. It's like a huge barrel, and like in adventure games you can pick things up and like put them in your inventory.
Sure.
So it says. It says, do you want to pick up the barrel? And I go, yeah. And it goes, you take up the barrel and you put it in your pants. I'm like, how can that be possible? And there's like a joke about it.
Sure.
So anyways, it's a fun game and actually has a really cool heartwarming ending that I wasn't expecting. And I was like, oh my goodness, this feels really heartwarming at the end.
And to be clear, this is not an adults only game. This is not like
no,
a
but there
game.
is like definitely chesty dragoness and other chesty people that do arrive on the scene.
Okay. So there is boobs, but it's not
There's
a hentai
some boobage.
game. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Good. That's Dragon Audit. What else is in your housekeeping?
Jeez Louise. There's a couple of things, but we're going to skip them. I'll just give this last one, which is I am going to start Sega Frontier. I know last episode I started saying I don't know if I like the art or whatever, but here's my thing. I had such a frustration of not completing it because of that bug long time ago on the PlayStation.
Yes, we did discuss this, yes.
I have to finish it.
Okay. I mean, good luck. That's the game, if memory serves, that I gave a 0.5 to on the review scale.
I
so
know.
I will never touch that game again. If you get into it, I mean, I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope you finish it, get that peace of mind. But I have no fond memories of
it's just a peace
Saga
of mind.
Frontier.
I know. I probably am doing myself a disservice. Anyways, that's it. The house is pretty much clean. I'll keep a couple pieces left over for next week.
Excellent. Okay, good. That is a great opening housekeeping segment. Let's just kick on and get into the main content of the show. Carlos, let's keep it going with you. You are bringing to the table Omori, Omori. I don't know anything about this one, so please fill me in.
Yeah, Omori. I don't know. Omori.
Wait, did I get it wrong? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like they say it in the beginning of the game or anything.
I am being an asshat right now because I don't want to get the name of this game wrong.
I don't know.
It's really important.
It just, to me, it looks like it might be Omori, but I can't. I might be wrong.
No, I'm right. It's Omori. 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 Yes.
Omori. Okay, so Omori just came up because one of my friends was telling me about it, and I forgot why or how that happened. But I was mentioning games like Earthbound, and they were like,
you're a fan.
"Oh, did you play Omori?" Now I'm gonna fuck it up. And I was like, "No, I don't know what that is." And so I learned about it from them, and yeah, it's basically Earthbound, but it's called a psychological horror game. So there is basically discussion about bullying and feeling depressed and depression and loneliness. And you play as a little character who is black and white, where everybody else is color. And it starts in a very weird kind of like mind space area. And then all of a sudden you come into the real world and you have friends and you're doing things and it feels like Earthbound. But it
is
starts
it still the same kind
dark.
of like a top-down RPG sort of a thing?
Yeah,
same structure.
It looks just like Earthbound. It looks like Mother 1, not really Earthbound Super Nintendo. It's kind of a mixture of if you played the first Earthbound, which is called Mother 1. It looks like that art more, like the NES kind of art. So, anyways, it's a game that I think might be really important, and it tackles some pretty dark subjects. I have not got too far into it, but I can tell right away that what they're trying to do, and they're trying to bring up messages about people having feelings of depression and loneliness, and definitely the bullying thing comes in at the very beginning. I'll give you an example. The combat is turn-based, just like Earthbound. It's a
like
little
JRPG
wacky.
style kind of thing?
JRPG, yeah. With the characters or the enemies on the screen, and you're just choosing options.
Which is weird because, have you ever gotten into a fight like that in real life? Because I have. You stand on one side of the room,
Oh
Your
yeah,
enemy's on the other
totally.
side of the room, and you just take turns. Like it's pretty respectful.
Yeah,
It's a really organized way of doing a fight, and it's like hopefully you brought enough items. It's weird to get in a fight like that.
it is. It usually ends with like a frying pan. And you're like, pick
Getting
up frying pan.
toss
Yeah,
frying pan. Yes.
that is in Earthbound, by the way. I think there is a frying pan in Earthbound. Earthbound's great. All you young listeners, if you never played it, go and play it. But this is, it's Earthbound with kind of like some psychological stuff. Here's an example of how they're touching the subjects that people, that bother people, but also kind of having it fun. So in the beginning, you have different party members who are your friends, and you're in this like park, and this one guy is not allowed at the park, and his name is Boss, as like final boss.
Okay.
And he's just a jerk, and I guess everyone's saying that he's bullying people. And so you do have to fight him, and after you beat him, he basically you like scold him about being mean, and like say, hey, you just we're sorry we beat you pretty much all the way down, and took all your life away. But here's the reasons why we did it, because you're a jerk and you can't be doing this kind of stuff. So that was like a very small portion of what they're doing. It's just like, here's an encounter, but like there's going to be some sort of resolution or discussion about why it happened, maybe.
I mean, it sounds a little bit like Undertale. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have led with that, like Earthbound, Undertale. Yeah, and I will say this though, one of the funniest things that happened in the first fight I fought is the different characters have skills, and most of these games have those. Like you could pick a skill instead of the attack, and one of the characters is sad, and he said he could read his sad poems to the enemy. And I thought that was so good, and I did, and it like lowered his defense or something, and then we took him out.
I love when games kind of get a little meta like that. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. So if you like Earthbound or Undertale, I think this is good. I think it might get much darker though, so be wary of that. You'd be in the right headspace for it, but it also might be helpful, because a lot of these games do that, by saying, hey, here's an issue that we know you're experiencing. Let's play it out in a game.
Yeah.
And sometimes it kind of takes away its power.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. I mean, games are really a wonderful place to explore some of those issues where you don't need to be in a real life situation, but you can take things that happen in real life and, like you said, kind of explore them in different ways. Maybe you can, have different characters and pose different situations. It's good. I mean, games are so great. Like, they can do so many things, right? It can be just straight up fun. It can be like educational. It can be something introspective. I think this is a perfect example here.
Wow. I just realized you're totally correct. But I also was looking at my notes saying the next two games I'm also going to talk about are also kind of about headspace, which is
interesting. This is very interesting, because the one that I'm going to bring up, not this next one, but the one after that, a little bit touching in that same direction. So we'll see.
Ooh, all right.
All right. That is Omori, Omori. I'm looking it up really quickly. Seems like it's only on Steam. Is that where you're playing it?
Yeah, I played it on Steam. I thought it would be on itch.io, but I guess it wasn't.
I mean, possibly. I'm just doing a super quick Google search. It may be on itch.io as well. So.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Next one I'm going to talk about is a really weird thing that happened to me, which I'm not sure has ever happened to me before. So
you played a PC game?
No, not that. That is actually equally weird, but no, different.
Okay.
So we got PR for a game called Godstrike, and I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, this seems kind of like my jam. It's kind of like a top-down. It's on the Switch. Maybe it's got roguelike elements. Maybe it doesn't. I wasn't sure. Looks like it's a twin-stick shooter. I kind of like those when they're not too crazy, but it's kind of like you're a little character, top-down, and you shoot a million bullets, and you fight these. It's like a boss rush, basically, and the boss rush is kind of like regular twin-stick action, but also a bit of a bullet hell. So I'm like, okay, I'm interested in this, and I got the podcast code, which I'm using now because I'm talking about it here on the show, and I started playing this. I'm like, you know what? No. I've played this game before. I know I've played this game before. The character looks really familiar. I got to the first boss, and the first boss is a stone golem, and the stone golem's name is Tutorial, because he's the tutorial boss. And I'm like, okay, there can only be one of those in the world. There's no way that some other developer randomly created a tutorial boss called Tutorial, who is also a multi-phase stone golem. Like, that's too much of a coincidence, right? And as I'm playing it, I'm like, dude, I know I've played this before. And I look it up. I look at the developer's website. I don't see anything there. I'm like, no. I know I've seen. I'm like, is this a demo? No. It's not a demo. I wouldn't have played it on Steam because I don't play anything on PC. I'm like it's driving me insane, right? So I keep playing. The next boss is whatever. It's like it's a totem pole. I'm like, dude, I've fought this guy before. I know I fought this guy before. I've played this fucking game before. But
Weird.
how in the world would I have played this game before? I was like for like all afternoon I was going fucking crazy. Like I'm not crazy. I know I've played this game before. I've seen it before. But there's no information that this game has ever existed. And in fact, the game's not even fucking out yet. So it's like, how in the like I didn't time travel. Like Marty McFly didn't pull up in the DeLorean and give me this game to play, right? Like so it's
It would
like
have been cool if he did.
would have been fucking cool and I would have taken a ride in that car. But that is not what happened. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. I know I've talked about this game before. I feel like I've talked about it before. I searched Game Critics. I couldn't find anything about it. It wasn't on any of my blog posts or anything. But I'm like, I feel like I talked about it before. So I went to the archive at Game Critics of all of our podcasts. And you know what I fucking did? I clicked on the most recent one and I read the description of what's in each episode one by one right after another.
Wow,
227,
dedication.
226, 225, 224, 223. Read all the way, just kept going because I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. I know it's in here somewhere. And you know what? Motherfucker, I was correct because we talked about this game maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, somewhere around there. And at that time, it was called Profane. Exact same game, same structure, same bosses, all the same graphics. It was called Profane, and I played it, and I'm like, this game is way too fucking hard. I don't like it. And I forgot about it, right? But what I didn't know was this game got delisted from the eShop about 5 months after it debuted, and they just vanished it, right? Like, I found actually a video on YouTube where some other YouTuber was like playing the same game. So there's like proof that it's literally the same game. It's got the video. It's called
You're not
Profane.
crazy.
I'm not crazy. And once I knew it was called Profane, I went back to Game Critics Archive and I'm like, oh, there's my blog post where I talk about Profane. There it is. There's a screenshot that I took of it. It's literally right there. So I don't know why the developers have done this, but this is literally the exact same game they put out 2 years ago or whatever called Profane, but it's now called Godstrike. It's slightly different. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit easier than it was last time because I got further this time. I still feel like it's too hard. I still feel like it's a really rough experience. A lot of the game design I feel like it's in the ballpark of being a good game, but like a lot of the detail work is not correct. Like I'll give you an example. When you start to play this game, you're in the story mode and the developers only give you like a couple of powers. You can't choose, you can't mix and match. You got to just take what they give you and that's it. And if you don't like those powers, too bad for you, right? But there's another mode, arena mode, where you can have all the different powers in the game. You can mix and match and do whatever you want. So I'm like, well, why am I stuck with these powers that I don't feel like are great powers? And I have to get through the story mode. Also, to use these powers, you have to collect little power-ups. But you get the power-ups by shooting these bosses, but the power-ups, when you shoot the boss and the power-up shoots out of the boss, you got to go pick it up. Sometimes it falls in a place where you literally can't pick it up. It falls in the lava. It falls like on the other side of an enemy or something. And like you can't get it. So it's like, what is the point of me trying to get these power-ups if I can't control where they drop and then they just go off into fucking nowhere?
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, right? So like you're struggling to get your weapon powered up and you can't do it. Other parts of the game too, like where I'll be dashing through, like trying to avoid a boss, and the boss jumps, and the boss like lands on me, and when he lands on me, I get trapped kind of like inside the boss, and so I can't leave, and I get stuck there, and it's like, okay, like if all these things were ironed out, like I think this would be a pretty cool game, but they're not ironed out and they're still there, and it feels really rough. And on top of that, it's a very tough bullet hell kind of experience. So like you're constantly dodging a million fucking bullets from the enemies. You only have, instead of a life meter, you have a time meter, and every time you get hit, it deducts like 15 seconds. So like the more you get hit, the less time you have, the quicker you die.
Oh,
and
we don't like time limits.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like these guys are like in the right direction, right? But like I don't know what they did between 2 years ago and now. It feels like essentially the same game, maybe a little bit easier, but basically the same thing. It doesn't feel very polished. It still has like a lot of rough edges that stick out to me as somebody who, you know, plays a lot of games. I mean, I just like, and it's weird because they are putting it back out and it's totally a new game, new title. And it kind of makes me think of like maybe Rocket League. You play Rocket League, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, not everybody knows this, but Rocket League, when it came out as Rocket League, that was like the third time they tried to launch that game. It originally came out as something called like super powered, stunt driving, high flying.
Oh yeah, a name that didn't roll off the tongue at all.
Yeah, it was like this weird fucking like long ass name. They tried to launch it. It didn't go anywhere. Nobody played it. Nobody cared about it. It went away. It came back, and it was like another like rocket powered arena battles or something like, and it, like nobody played it, and it went away again, and it came back the third time as Rocket League. And as far as I can tell, they don't ever really talk about like those previous launches, but I remember them because I'm an old guy and I've played all the games, right? It's like I remember that was a thing. So maybe that's what they're trying to do here. Maybe they're trying to just get a clean slate. Nobody remembers Profane. They're going to try to take the same game and launch it again.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do that, I mean, Rocket League improved itself greatly that third time around. I don't feel like they've taken the same steps here.
Yeah, and also I'm wondering why they got delisted originally.
I mean, maybe they took it down just on their own. I mean, who knows? I mean, I can't say.
Yeah.
So, but it's weird because I can still actually go back and download Profane again. It's in my purchase list because I bought it back then, and I can have Profane and I can have Godstrike on the same system side by side if I want to. But neither one is really that great an experience. It's a good idea. Top-down bullet hell twin stick boss rush is something that appeals to me, but you got to nail it, and I don't feel like it's nailed right here. So I played it for about a day. I got about maybe to the third boss, and I was just like, "Fuck it! My life is worth more than this. I can't spend all my time on this boss trying to perfect it when I feel like the game is not really as polished as it should be." And I bounced. I just deleted it and I bounced. I don't think it's that great, but I think it's a good idea.
All right. Well, at least you solved the mystery. You got me riveted. I was riveted.
Oh my god, dude!
I was like, how did this happen?
I was a crazy person in my basement. I had one of those big like graphs on my wall with like red strings connecting pictures of people on the wall, and I was like Googling things, and I was going into the dark web, and I was making phone calls and stuff.
Whoa!
It was crazy.
Even the dark web, jeez,
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, that is Godstrike. It is currently under embargo, but by the time this podcast is published, it will no longer be under embargo. It'll be hitting the Switch very soon, and I hate to say it, but I honestly don't think I can recommend it. I just don't think it's that great of an experience. So there you go. Carlos, turning it back over to you, a game that actually a lot of people in my timeline are very excited for, and I've got my eye on it, but I haven't popped for it yet. Cozy Grove. I don't know anything about Cozy Grove, except it's kind of a top-down, I don't know, like a little town simulator or something like that.
It's Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay, so it's like Animal Crossing. All right.
It's Animal Crossing with 2D art, very, very simple 2D art, in 3D space. So you can you walk around the world, but it's all like 2D images. Beautiful art. You and me both, and you especially, like an art really sells you on a game. And this is just awesome looking. I mean, what's that game? Don't Starve. It looks like that.
Okay, sure.
Right. And it's very similar in that vein. Adorable as well. Like there's a lot of really awesome characters and cute bears. And you basically play, and you can be a guy or girl in the beginning. You can adjust what you look like a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. And you're basically someone who goes to an island as part of like a Cub Scouts kind of thing. And you're supposed to just, I guess, survive there. Which, by the way, is a shitty...
That worst Cub Scout trip
ever.
I
know, it's a shitty Cub Scouts. Hey, have fun at the summer camp. Also, hope you make it alive.
Yeah, hopefully I see you in the fall. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. It's a little, weak on that premise. And actually, in the very beginning, there's like a story about one kid who didn't make it.
Oh, God. Do you find his corpse?
No. But you just see like a cutscene of like, he didn't ever come back, I think, or something.
Oh, yikes.
But the it's just the loop of the game is really great. And the music, by the way, is awesome. But what you're doing is you're going on the island. You have a little campfire who's kind of like your main spot, like almost like your house. You don't have a house, really. It's just the woods.
You just sit at the campfire.
And you go talk to the campfire because it's a being that talks to you. And when you feed it like magical logs, which you find in the world, it gets stronger and then basically points out the different ghosts that are on the island.
This seems like a very arcane, possibly satanic sort of a thing. You're feeding fire magic logs. It's showing you ghosts. This sounds very dark.
Okay, it's not that dark. It's actually the opposite of dark. It's lighter than Omori probably gets, I'm guessing. It's just really whimsical. And when you find these different ghosts that show up on the island, similar to Animal Crossing, you have to do chores for them or go find them something on the island. Craft things, there's fishing, but all of it is just a delight. Like, you'd never feel like locked. I feel like it was easier than in Animal Crossing, where in Animal Crossing sometimes I would get defeated because I was like 40,000 bells behind
Oh yeah,
whatever next
feels
thing they wanted me to
impossible.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one was like there's always something within reach, and some of it is like just finding stuff on the ground. Like I just had to like walk around to find stuff. And then when you find different ghosts, they kind of become real. So I don't know if they're really
Are these the
ghosts
ghosts of the
anymore.
previous kids who have not made it back from the trip?
No, but that's dark. Wow, this can be the dark episode if we go all the way there. Yes, by the way, the answer is yes, and it's all the dead kids from
Oh
that didn't
man.
make
Okay.
it.
Yes. Oh Jesus.
It
Okay.
isn't that. But they're like big, huge animals, basically, like Animal Crossing. They're huge animal ghosts.
But they're
So
ghosts. That's so dark. Why are they all dead? Why are they have not moved on? Like,
I
what is going
don't
on?
know. Oh wait, I do know. I played the game.
Oh
Wait,
my
lucky
God.
for me, I played the game. So when you meet a ghost, let me tell you this thing. So if you after you finish the quest for them, basically you're trying to help them resolve an issue. You know, it's ghost stuff.
Sure,
Right?
sure, sure.
Ghosts can't move on because they got issues. So you are trying to help them like solve an issue. When you have done, I think, the bare minimum of like quests for them, they again become real. And I don't know if they're no longer ghosts, but they're colored. Like they have full color now, and they're not like just like a ghostly form. And then they actually color the whole area that they were around.
So
So the
you're
game,
resurrecting dead spirits with the help of a living flame. This sounds like you need to keep kids away from this, folks.
I'm stopping.
Demonic.
I'm
Demonic.
stopping. This is the first time you had me stop a review in dispute over what you're doing. You're tainting my review. You're tainting it to hell. Anyways, it's a whimsical, delightful game, very relaxing. Yes, there's ghosts in it. No, there's no demonic worship. It's really, really good. I like it better than Animal Crossing.
Okay, that's okay. So
I
that's
mean,
my question.
that's high praise right there, right?
Let me ask you. I mean, that is pretty well. Yeah, it is high praise. I think a lot of people love Animal Crossing. I can understand why they like it. I played a pretty fair amount, but I didn't get like crazy into it. Right? Like I think for me, uh, there were a lot of quality of life issues in Animal Crossing that I just couldn't get past. For example, all of the text that you had to like sit through over and over and over and over and over again, and some of the like the limits to the inventory where you got to just make this thing right, but they make it so difficult because you've only got limited space, so you got to go back to your house and put something down and pick something up and come back and make the thing and come back. I mean, there's like lots of little rough edges like that where it's like, yeah, Animal Crossing is really cute and I love the tone of it, but to be honest, I bailed after maybe 20, 30 hours because I just got tired of like it wasting my time. So that's kind of my question. If this is an Animal Crossing alike, are they better about the quality of life, or do they take the same kind of like pokey, lazy, we're never ever going to die, so we're going to take all the time we want to sort of
This
attitude
is
with it?
Yeah, great question, because this is why I like it better. It's, for one thing, better, or maybe just like I like it better right now because, like a lot of people playing Animal Crossing, especially during quarantine, we got tired of it. You know, it was our other world and it was a great escape at the time. But like you said, you know, it's still Animal Crossing from like many years ago, and it
Yeah,
hasn't
exactly.
updated itself enough
Not
to
much.
be different.
Yeah.
So this is an update like to the idea of getting things, finding things, collecting things. You have like, I don't know if you'll ever have a house because I haven't got that far yet, but it didn't seem like that was top of mind for this game. You know, you weren't like going in with like, here's a loan you got to pay back. It's more like, hey, survive on this island. So again, mix Don't Starve with Animal Crossing. And then I should have said that at the beginning. That's kind of what this game is. It's more of like an adventure. And you go, well, how do I find out what happened on this island? How do I find out about the ghosts? You know, and there's more of a narrative there.
Okay, so
So
that was my other question. Was A, is there actually a story, or is it just like permanent chill out time? And B, can you actually die? Like, I mean, if you fail to find food or you don't find magical logs for the Satan fire, like, do you actually die after a while, or
not
what
a
happens?
Satan fire. Okay, so that's we're bringing it down to one line. It's Don't Starve meets Animal Crossing, but you can't die.
Okay, there we go.
I
There
think
we
that's
go.
it. Like
That's
that's a
captured it
good.
right there.
That's the back of the box quote. Anyways, I really enjoy it. It's really relaxing. It's like one of those games. Remember that game I've reviewed where you just find stuff in the environment? Like you find things in the picture. Remember?
Oh, Under Leaves?
Yeah. It's one of those ones where you go, and Animal Crossing, you just go, I'm going to go spend some time with this for a little while. And then that's it, you know, then close it. But it's fun to go in there for a little bit. I find some stuff. I meet a new ghost. No demonic stuff happens
Yet.
that I know of. And by the way, flash forward, and I'm like nervous, scared. There's like a tremble in my voice, and it's a new episode, and it's like 300. And I go, Brad, I was wrong about Omori, and I was also wrong about Cozy Grove. They both scared me to my bones. I don't know. I can't finish them. And they both get really dark.
I'll be like, I knew it. I was right.
I told you the whole time. Anyways, Cozy Grove, and by the way, one of the best developer names ever. The developer is called the Quantum Astrophysicist Guild.
That is a great name. I love that name. I see that it's on Switch. I believe it's also on PC. Where are you playing it?
I am playing it. Where do you think I'm playing it?
I mean, I feel like you don't really ever like to play anything on your Switch, but it seems like a perfect Switch game.
It does actually do. Yeah, I really do think it does fit perfectly on the Switch. I'm playing it on an Xbox because I think it's on Game Pass right now.
Oh, is it really? Okay. That's a good point. I haven't checked in on my Game Pass stuff.
I think it is. Don't quote me on that because we don't do any homework, but I'm either playing that or on the PS4, but it's on both. And I like seeing, again, the graphics are so cool looking, similar to Dragonauta. I like seeing them bigger on the bigger screen.
Sure.
So for me, it's a big thumbs up though. Like I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, that is Cozy Grove. Turning it back to me for a moment. Me and the wife jumped into It Takes Two.
Oh yeah.
It's put out by Hazelight, which is the studio started by Joseph Fares, who is the guy who started his climb to fame with Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. You played that, I'm sure.
Yep, and then I saw his speech on the Game Awards show where he yelled about the Oscars or something.
I actually did not see that. Is he?
What? You don't know that about him?
No. What did he say? I didn't see that.
Oh my goodness! Are you under a rock?
Yes, I'm literally under stone right now. Literally, I'm in the basement.
Yeah, it's true. He it's a big infamous thing where he was like on the Game Awards and I don't know if he was drunk, but he's probably not because it's just like him. He's very outspoken and he was just yelling about how the Game Awards are better than the Oscars and fuck the Oscars. And I think he said fuck the Oscars on the live show.
Wow.
He's a fun, weird, dynamic character. So yeah.
I did not know about that, but I will Google that shortly.
Yes.
So I loved Brothers. That was a great experience for me. I really liked that a lot. I was very excited to see what he was going to do next. He went to go do. Is it A Way Out, like A Way Out, or is it No Way Out?
I think it's A Way Out, and I didn't play it, but it's like a GTA but with two people. You have to control.
It's basically, it looks like a GTA. It's actually just like Brothers again, with two people who are escaping from a prison. It's two prisoners. They work together to escape from the prison, and they want to get back to their lives. They got to do a bunch of co-op stuff. It's another dedicated co-op game, just like Brothers was. Cannot play it by yourself. Impossible to play it by yourself.
Right.
You need a second person. And that game did not sit as well with me. Some of the design stuff was kind of wonky. I really, really, really disliked where the story went. At the end, I had a really hard disagree with the story. And some of the writing in that script was just, oh man, it was kind of bad.
I heard that.
Yeah, it was kind of bad. So this is his next game. It Takes Two. The premise of this game, again, he's sticking with the theme, right? He's the guy who's does forced co-op. So this is again a forced co-op game. You cannot play it by yourself. You got to have two people. You play a husband and a wife who are in the middle, or who are just about to tell their daughter they're getting a divorce because they are both miserable fucking people who are unlikable and don't like each other. And they are just bickering at each other and sniping and just rude comments the whole time. And they tell the daughter, hey, we're getting a divorce. The daughter is upset, as most kids are, does not realize that these two people are toxic for each other, and the daughter just wants them to stay together. So something happens, magical voodoo, the universe aligns or something, and we don't know exactly what happens, but the husband and the wife wake up in the body of dolls that the girl has created. So the husband becomes a clay dude, the wife becomes she's made of cloth and wood, and they're teeny tiny. And so they wake up and they're like, holy shit, we're dolls. We're not human beings anymore. We got to figure out what's going on. We got to get back to human form because what I want to do is divorce your ass and get away from you. And they say that a million times. They say it.
Oh, really?
All the time. I can't wait to get back to being human. I want to get away from you. I want to get a divorce and get out of here. They fucking constantly talk about it.
Ew.
So yes, ooh is a very good descriptor because that's how I feel about most of the game. I have not finished it yet, but basically, okay. So here's the thing: this game has like two sides to it, right? There's the gameplay side where you have two characters. I play the guy, my wife plays the woman, and you go through all these different challenges. And like in every level, there's something different. Like in one level, I had some nails and my wife had a hammer. And so I got to throw the nails in the right place. She's got a hammer. We got to work together as a team to get through some places. Very cool. There's also like one part where like I have a gun that shoots goop, which is explosive, but it doesn't explode on its own. My wife has a fire shooter. So like I paint something with the goop and then she blows it up with the fire shooter. Teamwork. Like it's really fun. It's really cool. There's all sorts of different like little challenges where like I'm driving the crane and she's like on the platform and I got to maneuver the crane to move her around. And then when she gets to where she's going, she can open a door for me and then it makes me, I get where I'm going because we're working as a team. Like all of the gameplay stuff in this game, I think is actually really great. Like there's lots of cool ideas, lots of stuff that's actually fun to do together. Driving down a river, I'm steering, the wife is shooting, or we're flying on an airplane and we have to balance the wings. And so, like, if we want to turn left, we both have to scooch over to the left, and it tilts the plane because that's where the weight is. And if we need to get it straightened out, then we both scooch out to opposite sides and balance the plane. All sorts of stuff like that. Like, it's really fun to just play, right?
I
like,
hear such a butt coming.
There is such a big butt coming, man. There is such a big butt coming.
Back it up. Back that thing up.
Back that thing up. Yes, please. Yes, ma'am. That said, and again, let me be clear, the gameplay part is great. I think it's really fun and really just excellent. The narrative side of this game is a hot fucking sewer dump mess on fire. It is awful. It is awful. These characters are so unlikable and irredeemable all the time. Oh, why didn't you do this? Well, why didn't you do this? Well, you did this thing. Why about you? Like, they're just sniping the whole time. And, like, every once in a while, they get a picture of their daughter, like, from, like, across the yard or something. The daughter has remained in normal human size. And so the daughter's doing whatever, and the little doll parents are catching glimpses of her, right? The daughter's, like, super sad. She's, like, fucking crying. She's like, Mommy and Daddy, why don't you love each other? Why don't you love me? Like, that whole thing. It's terrible, dude. Do the parents give a fucking shit? No, they sure don't. All they talk about is how they hate each other and want to get away from each other over and over and over. It is like so irritating. Like, wow. I'm sitting here with my wife playing it. Every time the characters open their mouth, I tell them, shut the fuck up because I don't want to hear you talk because you're both fucking rotten. And it's just terrible. There's also a magical book which shows up. I don't know where the book is from. They don't really explain the book. It's like a book the daughter has or something. And it's a counseling book, and the book shows up, and he talks in this weird, like, Chicano accent, and he does all this, like, semi-racist stuff essay. And I'm like, what is going on? I feel offended by this book. Like, I mean, I am partially Hispanic, and I feel like you're offending me, and I feel like even if I wasn't Hispanic, I would still be offended. It feels really kind of racist. It feels like a caricature. And he just shows up all the time, and he, like, does weird things to kind of, like, force the couple back together. But see, like, there's multiple things wrong with this. Like, number one, you people are terrible. You should be concerned about your daughter, not yourselves. Number two, if you're toxic for each other, don't stay together. Sometimes I think it's much healthier for people to divorce than it is to stay together. My own parents in real life, for example, they had a super toxic relationship that was terrible. I told them from a young age, you guys should get divorced because neither one of you like each other, and you're making me miserable. And, like, they stayed together for the next 20 fucking years. They were miserable.
This is a very good point, and I'm sorry about that. And also, I come from a divorced parent, so I understand. But when you just told me that story, I just saw small version of you, small body Brad, but your head of today, like your like regular head, Brad head of however old you are.
My normal human size head, yes.
Human size head, and then but little body, little boy body, and just being very matter of fact. Listen, Mom, Dad, this is not working. Let's just end it here. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I straight up told them so many times. I wish you guys would get a divorce. Yes, I did. I was like, you guys, I hate you both.
Oh, is this going to get sad and were you like crying and like yelling and like throwing things at them at the same time?
No. I mean, I got out of there. I made myself a much better life, got through it and all that stuff. But like the point being, I am very curious where this game is going with this because I feel like the message that these two toxic people who hate each other should learn to love each other is maybe not the right message.
Right.
And yeah. And at the very least, have concern for your daughter.
I know. I was going to say they might come back again at the together at the end for her. I feel like that's what it's foreshadowing. I'm just listening to you talk about it, but that's still not good enough. Like what we're just talking about Omari and a bunch of other games where they make you think about how you feel as a person and hopefully helping you like process stuff.
Yeah.
Or talking to you honestly. I think that's the key. Honestly about situations in the real world. But then there's like yeah, if you're going down that route and then you give like the wrong info, or the wrong
Yeah.
advice, that's
Well,
like
so
worse.
here's something that's really weird, right? So like you would assume, just like if you had to guess where this game is going, I think that's a pretty good guess, right? But like you would think that these people would want to try to slowly rely on each other, or like, hey, I know that I didn't like you when we were humans, but now that we're dolls, you saved me from that giant frog, and thank you for that, and
Yeah.
I helped you with the glider, and thank you for that. Like barely any of that. They just hate each other still. And the interesting thing about this is I feel like Joseph Fares is maybe working through something on his own, because there's a bunch of mini games in this game that are optional. You just find them. Every single mini game is competitive. It's not cooperative. So like the very first game we did was like whack-a-mole, where I was the mole, my wife had the hammer, and she was hitting me in the face, and we were both like, "Ah, you suck," and like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and "Oh, I hate you so much, I'm gonna hit you in the face," and like they're saying all this stuff, and I'm like, "This is not building teamwork here, buddies. Like this is not helping." We found another mini game later on where my character was inside I don't know, like a glass jar or something. And my wife, who was the wife character, was outside, and every button she picked, like, chopped me up with a saw, or it drenched me with acid, or it set me on fire. And
Oh yeah.
I'm like, this is not making me like you as a character. You're torturing me and taking joy in it. That is you working through your issues. Like, are you mad at your real life wife or something?
Well,
Because none of this is working for me.
let me do one quick tangent here because I don't think we've ever talked about this. But when it comes to, I guess we might have a little bit in the kind of RPG game genre and adventure games too. But when you have this character you're playing as, and you have the developer or developers making you take on this role, it can go one of two ways. It can go, here's a really fantastical world, and here's some loose ideas of a story, a beginning, a middle, and end, and you'll play it and kind of go through it. Or here's like exactly what I want you to experience, right? Like Gone
Yeah,
Home
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
And so when you do that, it's almost like a fact of the game that it's going to be you in it, like
Right.
whoever's telling that story. So it sounds like to me, it's just, yeah, like he's going through something he went through or is still going through.
It's still going through, maybe.
I would
So
imagine.
yeah, it's really tough to get through, and I really want to just turn the sound off and just play, because playing it is great. But here's the thing, right? So I've had some people tell me, "Hey, you're almost halfway through the game now. It's going to take a turn. Things are going to get better." And I'm like, "Well, I hope so, because it didn't need to spend all these hours establishing these two people as miserable folks who need rehabilitation, because that was pretty clear from the start.
Yeah.
They've really driven that nail in thoroughly. But the part where my wife and I stopped, and I got to say, this was honestly kind of stomach churning. And this maybe is like a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm going to give it as an example because I feel like this game really just crosses the line. At one point, the characters are trying to get the daughter to cry. And again, if you don't want to be spoiled, jump ahead like 2 minutes here, folks. Just really quick spoiler. Um, so they go to her room. They see her favorite toy up on the shelf, and they're like, "We need to destroy this toy and make her cry, and her tears are going to make us turn back to human," which I think is already a bad plan. So they do this whole thing, and it turns out that this doll is alive. It's a very sweet little elephant who's like the princess of her kingdom. They get up to where the elephant is. They grab the fucking elephant, and they're like, "Sorry, but we have to fucking kill you right now." They grab her, and they drag her towards the cliff, which is like the edge of a shelf, but they're all small, right? And she's like, "No, no, 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 no." They rip her fucking leg off. The leg gets ripped off. Stuffing comes out. She's like, "Oh my God, my leg." And they're like, "Yeah, this
What?
is terrible." They keep dragging her towards the edge. And she's like, "No, no, no, please don't kill me. Don't kill me." They rip her fucking ear off. Her ear's like ripped off her ear. And it's like the stuffing there. She's like, "Oh my God, my ear, my leg." And like she's screaming, pleading with them to not kill her. And they're just like, "Nope, gotta do what we gotta do." Fucking throw her over the edge. And she just goes sailing over the edge and dies when she hits the floor. And me and my wife and my son are all like, "What the fuck?" That was
That's
the most
nuts.
stomach churning. I mean, granted, it's a doll killing a stuffed elephant, but at the same time, it was like very easy to see that this was a person pleading for their life who was getting physically tortured as they get dragged towards the edge of a cliff where they're about to get tossed off to their death.
Nope.
too fucking much,
Nope.
man. Like, that is way too much. Like, I don't care what the developer, what the writer, director was going for. Too much, bro. Like, you should have focus grouped that out of there. You got problems. That was a problem. We all felt like literally sick getting through that scene, and we had to stop playing. I just stopped playing. I'm like, I gotta stop. So we're gonna come back to it later after we've had some time away. But like, it's very rare that I play a game where I'm like, this is way too fucking much, and this game was way too fucking much.
Yeah, that's a hard pass for me. I mean, I don't even understand. Like, that bothered me just hearing it. Like, yeah, there's that same stuff. We talked about this in the show before, but like Walking Dead, when there was like this huge moment
Oh, dude. Oh, it was like that same coldness, man. That
yeah,
same
that
vibe.
coldness. And you go like, well, why are you doing this again? Like, what's on the other side of this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ugh.
That's
Ugh.
fucked up, and I'll never play that game.
I
Just from that
died.
one thing you told me about.
I do not recommend it, man. We were literally just like kind of like actually horrified that we just played through that. It literally felt like, I mean, that's a really good example. It felt like we watched like the second worst episode of The Walking Dead or something like that, right? Like the feeling of like, ugh.
Let's not waste any more time talking about it. Let's
Moving
move
on.
Yeah,
that
terrible.
was It Takes Two. Do not recommend it. I will finish it, I think, because I want to see where it goes. I may come back with another angry rant. We'll see. Maybe not. Well, who knows? Who knows? Turn it back to you, Carlos. Poison Control. This is an RPG, action RPG from Atlas, I believe. Oh, no, Nippon Ichi, isn't it?
Yeah, NIS.
Nippon Ichi. I just hit the Switch. I believe it's probably also on all the consoles. Where are you playing it?
Yeah, I'm playing it PS4.
Okay, PS4. Brand new. It just came out like today or this week or something like that.
I think yesterday. I think it came out. Yeah, as the time of this recording, and I was very interested because the art, again, it is Persona, like it's straight up Persona.
It looks
art.
great. It's got a really great art style. Very
Beautiful
colorful,
art
very
style,
anime-ish. Yeah.
If you like Persona 5 or 4, that kind of style, it's literally the same, like identical. And what is Poison Control? By the way, if you Google Poison Control, it gives you a phone number you can call. When I first was like looking up the game. Yeah, so don't
write that down and keep it handy in case you drink.
You might need it. Yeah,
antifreeze or something. Sure.
Do Poison Control game in case.
There
you
go.
Up.
There you go.
So this is a very weird game to explain, but it's fun. I'll give you that. Up at the top here, I really do enjoy it. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I wanted to try it because of the art style looks so cool, and the premise is very interesting. So I'm gonna call it a third-person shooter mixed with Super Mario Sunshine or Splatoon, where there's an element of shooting bad guys, which I'll get to why, and then there's an element of cleaning up stuff. And when you clean up stuff, it's like it gives you health and extra shit. So those are the two kind of mechanics of the game. And so that's what I saw in a trailer. And I heard someone say like they really enjoyed the loop of like going and shooting things and cleaning things up with like Mario Sunshine style.
Is it kind of like a paintball? Like, is that the Splatoon angle? Like, are you painting something or you're like washing something away?
Yeah, you're washing something away just by running over it. So what is the game? The game is basically, it's hard to start this, but you are in hell, but hell doesn't really look like hell. Back to the demons.
There we go. Is
This
the living
the
fire
dark
there?
episode.
Is the satanic campfire there?
Yes, he's there. And you're like, what's up? Can I give you some magical logs and you tell me about some ghosts?
Yes, I can.
So basically, hell doesn't look like hell at all. It's just it's very colorful. You wouldn't have known it's hell, but it's like a very pink, yellow, day glow colored area that they're calling it hell for some reason. Very anime, very manga. It just is. This is the reason.
You gotta just roll with it.
You roll with it, and the area that you end up in, you basically are. I think when you first end up there, I think you might have died because you're a skeleton. But then you kind of get your body back, and you can customize your body a little bit. And then you meet this girl, and by the way, it's not an adult game, but there's definitely some chesty action going on. She's got some, again, how do I say this nicely? Boobs that move.
Oh, do they do a lot of boob physics in this game?
There's little. I mean, it's all 2D. It's all and like simple graphics. No, not 3D.
So the animator clearly spent some time on that aspect.
There's some definitely, yeah. I mean, like in the cutscenes with her, who you meet, and then any other girl you meet or woman you meet in the game, there's definitely like boobs moving around. So that's the thing, in case you're just wondering about that. So there's a little bit of sexy spiciness in it. But the girl you meet, basically, I don't know what she represents, and I probably will get told more of that in the story, but she is down there to help you clean up the areas of hell with, again, her power is she runs over like goop that's on the ground, and when she runs over it, it can restore like ammo to you or health, and then she can also like break boxes open and do other kind of things. But you switch back and forth, so she's got a certain amount of time that she can be on the playfield, and then she'll go away. Like she'll run out of juice, you know.
Okay.
So you can hit L1. I'm playing a PS4. You hit the left trigger, then use her for a bit. She'll go out there, and there's enemies, and you're fighting all these monsters on these boards. And if she encircles an enemy with her like running around, she'll also hurt them too. So she can attack enemies by doing that, but she can also she's support. And then when your character basically gets different kind of guns, but they're your arm because anime.
Sure.
And you're shooting different types of ammo at these monsters. Okay, so why are you doing all this? And why are you in hell? The idea is you are in little mini different hells, because I guess there's more than one, and they're based on women or girls in the real world based on trauma they had. So we're going back to the dark mental stuff now.
Okay. All
so
right.
Here's the example of the first story. There's a girl who's alive in the real world. She's not in hell, but she created a hell, basically like a dark space where all of her frustrations are.
Like mental anguish sort of a thing.
Mental anguish, exactly. And we're living in that anguish.
Okay.
Basically, we're in that. That's why it's not like the Hades hell that you're thinking of. And so what we had to do is we had to find different like things, like a little item in the place to figure out what her motive is and what's wrong with her and how we can help her. And then basically banish this hell and hopefully help the person.
I mean, that sounds very Persona-like.
Yeah, very Persona, and also, like, again, opposite of fucking It Takes Two. It's actually, like, supportive of people's issues.
Let's do that. Yes, that is what I'm in favor of.
That's what I'm saying. And here's again, this is a spoiler, but it doesn't matter because there's, it's just, it's not really a story-heavy thing. It's more like mission-based. But in the first one, when you finally get to the end and there's, like, a boss and you're fighting, the bad guys, what you do is you find out the object that she was holding in the real world was a lighter. And she was going to try to burn the school down because she was so depressed and mad at like the world. And it's like really all of a sudden, this is getting really real all of a sudden.
Okay, it gets kind of heavy, sure.
Heavy duty. But we helped her work through her issues and she doesn't do it. You know what I mean? Like that's good.
Okay.
But the mechanic, I'm not really here for that. Like that's really cool and I like that they're doing it. And it's interesting. Each little different hell, because there's more than one, is a different, reason you're doing it. But it's really the loop. The loop is very addictive.
So you like just the physical act of playing the game, like you're a guy with a gun, and is it kind of like a top-down sort of a thing?
It's just like Persona in that, the way that you're moving around a 3D world.
It's like third person, basically.
Third person, but it's action, so and it's not turn-based. And they call it an action RPG. You're leveling up, but it doesn't really feel like. Again, that goes back to last episode. What is an RPG? But
exactly, yeah.
It just feels more like an action game, like a fun action game that you would play. There's a lot of those that are, Japanese, kind of based on an anime. But this one just, it's got a good message. I think in each one of these little hells that you're trying to clear, they're trying to tell an interesting story about people's trauma. One of the hells is based on a person who's dead. And you're like going through something similar to Cozy Grove that they have to get through or something, Really interesting. I mean, there's not another game I can think that's like it besides Persona.
I mean, it sounds pretty cool, like from your description, and just straight up just playing it is pretty fun though. Like cleaning up the
cleaning up, because even though that's a limit, like hitting the L trigger and sending her out to go clean stuff up and also maybe attack some guys by encircling them, a la Quicks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go around them, and then she's out of juice. You go back to shooting, and you're rolling and dodging, and it just feels really good. Like, and there's collectibles and stuff, and yeah, it's like an action-based Persona game, and I really enjoy it. It's called Poison Control.
Pretty cool. You've kind of sold me on this. I saw the trailer, and I was like, well, I don't know about this, and I believe someone's got a review in the works. In fact, I think it's CJ. Good man CJ at Game Critics, but I haven't heard his opinion on it yet. But you've kind of swung me on this one. I think I may look into it again. I'm kind of intrigued.
Well, good. The only negative I would say is it might be short. It seemed like.
Oh, that's a positive, man.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
Positive.
I guess so. True. Both of us are like so many games on our queues.
Oh
So,
yeah, dude. Anything I
um,
can finish in a reasonable amount of time is a win.
yeah, there's an overview map or whatever, like an overworld map, and there's like different hells you can go to. And I don't know if there's too many of them, but man, I don't care. Like you said, I have a fun time just going in there. Yeah, there's not really too much negatives to say. It's not like a hefty game, but it's just really fun loop.
Cool.
Poison Control.
Poison Control. It's on Switch. I think it's on I think it's on every platform right now. I believe. I think it's on everything. So, all right. It was kind of a light week for me. Ordinarily I would bring another game to the table, but I got to be super, just really honest with everybody and say that between me, kind of just being sick to my stomach with It Takes Two and
Ugh.
putting too much time into Monster Hunter Rise with my wife, I haven't had a whole lot of time to play a lot of other stuff. So a light week for me, but you're gonna finish strong here, Carlos, with Outriders, which is free on Game Pass. I believe it's on every other system as
Yes.
well. This is coming from People Can Fly. Is that correct?
Yeah, I love their
The
name,
people
just
who
like the other ones.
made, what is that other game they made that we talked about before? We had the
Uh,
whip. You had the whip and a gun.
what?
Uh,
Why do I not know this? Oh, it's the gun. It's the gun game. Bulletstorm, right?
Bulletstorm. Yeah, you had a
Yeah,
whip
yeah,
in
yeah.
Bulletstorm. Yeah, that was
Which
like
I
one of the things.
enjoyed, and I was like, "This is ridiculous." It's like there's not much to think about, but I did remember liking the loop of it actually.
Yeah. So another it's not a first person shooter this time. It's kind of a Mass Effecty sort of a grind fest. I jumped into the demo, and in fact, didn't we talk about the demo on the show a
We talked
while
about
ago?
them on the show, and both of us were underwhelmed. You were like, I think, angry. That sounds
I
very
was slightly
on
angry.
brand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was not
Uh,
in.
but I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to finish it. Like, I was on the fence, but I wasn't like, I was underwhelmed a little bit.
All right. So I'm out. I haven't played this since the demo, but a strange thing happened because I was just really not sold on the demo, but a lot of people jumped in, and I got to be honest with you. I think Game Pass is probably a big reason why a lot of people in my feed are playing it right now. I don't think a lot of people would have ponied up for this full price, but a lot of people I've been seeing have been like, "Oh yeah, it sucks in the beginning, but then it gets really good," and a lot of people I know are apparently having a pretty good time. So, what is your take on Outriders once you get past the demo? And give us a quick recap again, would you?
Yeah, I will. And also, what you're saying is exactly why I went back to it. Game Pass.
There you
Like,
go.
I
There you
get
go.
it. There you go. You get all your kudos. All the times you sold me on it before I had it. Literally, it's like $60, right? It's like a regular full price game.
Yeah.
And so I had played the demo on PlayStation, wasn't going to buy it because, I wasn't impressed and I was just kind of like frustrated with the loop at first in that demo. And so I saw it on Game Pass and was like, well, obviously it doesn't cost me anything, which is genius because they'll probably make that a short license and you'll have to buy it. And now me and about a million other people, I don't know, are going to be in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're halfway through the game or you like the loop and then all of a sudden it's not free on Game Pass anymore,
Probably going to
probably
pony
gonna
up.
buy it at that point. Yeah.
So I am all the way back in, which is surprising to
This is
me.
crazy to me because I really dislike that demo a lot.
Right. I'll tell you the reasons why I'm in. One reason will actually you'll understand. The other reason I think you'll go like, Carlos, I still don't give a fuck. I think one reason I'll start with the reason why you might care. Okay.
Yes.
So this game is a third person looter shooter. I don't like that using that terminology because there's just too many of them, and I'm not like gonna just play a game because it's a looter shooter. Games as a service, but it also has a one player campaign, which, if you remember, on our first time we talked about it, the characters in the story ridiculous, like super. At least it starts super. You don't like your character. He's the
Yes.
most generic person, or I think he can be a guy or girl, right?
You can pick. You can pick.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they're still the most generic, like terrible responses. They don't care about anything, which, by the way, doesn't change, even though I still like this game. Your character's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just apathetic, I don't give a fuck. And starts giving a fuck a little bit near the end, which is cool. But once you kind of settle into what that character is, you're like, okay, I get it. But anyway, so you go, I don't know if I want to play this game because all these characters are that kind of cookie cutter. And in the demo, there's this thing called world tiers. So being a looter shooter or games as a service or game that you're going to play with multiple people, multiplayer, you can rank up the difficulty of the whole game. Now, you know me, I don't want difficult. I just want to play the fucking game. And so now that I have the whole game open, and it's not just a demo, I decided, and this is why I think a lot of people could like this game, independently of what, it is the get good version or the, try the hardest level kind of thing.
Sure.
It's with its weird story at the beginning, it's a Mass Effect game with more of a shooter, obviously, like arena, go to an area, kill a bunch of guys or monsters or whatever they are. And then it goes back and it actually gets into a pretty deep story. And if you keep it on World Tier 1, there's World Tier 1 through 15 or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
1 and 2 are easy mode.
Yes.
And 2 is like slightly more, difficult. And World Tier 3 is normal, they call it.
Okay.
But what's interesting is if you keep it at World Tier, let's say 1 or 2, which is just basically easy, it's still like, you've got to shoot things and you've got to use your powers. And it's not just going to be like you walk through every enemy. So you're still doing all the loop that feels really good in this game. But you can actually quickly get to story bit to story bit. One of the things I hate in the demo and all these types of like looter shooter games is when they have a story they're trying to tell you, but they put like 8 million guys in front of you and each person is a bullet sponge.
Yes.
You forget what the game was. You're like, well, I'm tired. I just like spent 8,000 bullets on, 4 guys. I'm just going to put this game down.
I mean, that's how I felt about the demo. I felt like it was like way too much combat. I was exhausted for sure.
Right. And I think the demo, like it auto scales the world tier, which means as soon as you do like good, it'll go like, we're moving you up. And so you can turn it down anytime you want, which is genius actually. And so I just kept it at 1 for like 3/4 of the game.
Okay.
And
I mean, I would probably
like,
do the same thing.
Yeah, people can be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to sound like that when they give me shit. But 1, which I already said to somebody online, you and I have a lot of games to play. So,
oh, hell yeah, dude.
If I want to finish and see the end of the story, which I'm actually invested in now, fuck off. I'm going to put it on 1, okay? Second, I didn't mean fuck off, if you're listening.
No, they can fuck off. Anybody who's a good bro, they can fuck off.
We made up already. It was a person on the comments.
They're not listening to this show anyway.
They might be.
No, okay. we don't got get good people on the show. We have really smart, beautiful, attractive listeners, very reasonable people. We do. Kindred spirits. We have a great listener base.
I love all of them.
I do too.
We should all get together and live in a commune. But anyways, so you keep it at World Tier 1, and I went through 3/4 of it. I started slowly turning it up. But even when I turned it up a little bit and I have great gear, etc., it just felt too bullet spongy.
Yeah.
Like whoever's going to tell or like fight for the idea that you should turn it up as you're playing the campaign, I think they're just wrong because the campaign is based on some emotional stuff and it actually gets, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It gets good. Like even though your character never changes, right? You have to know that going in. Apathetic asshole, right? Every once in a while, it gets a little bit of emotion, does some nice things for people. You can do side missions in this game, but so much of the story is Mass Effect, and so much of it is like learning about this world and what happened, and it gets really like sci-fi. And anyways, I really like it. Like it's so weird to say that, but I really do. And so that's why I'm keeping it like 2 or 3 world tier, and just gonna beat it. Like I'll probably beat it tonight because I'm going through it that fast.
Interesting.
So that's the reason why I said like it's not what you maybe thought of in the demo because you can make it less bullet spongy, which actually leads it to feel like the story, right?
Well, it's weird because I had a number of problems with the demo, right? Like kind of what we've already talked about. It felt like too much combat, too much bullet spongy, and like even the phrase "world tier" is already kind of a turnoff to me because it makes you think like they're setting you up for games as a service, right? Which they're gonna have the online servers all the time. You got to connect up. They want you to come back and like do the gear grind, like do these missions, come back and do them, get better guns. Like I'm already kind of like out of that. Like I'm not a customer for that kind of thing. And so just from my little taste of the demo where it's like, okay, they clearly want me to like work real hard. And this is going to be kind of like a Destiny sort of thing where you just play it over and over and get better guns and keep moving up. And I'm like, okay, that's cool if you're that kind of person. I'm not that kind of person. And I just didn't see anything here that was going to be worth my time, honestly.
That's exactly why I'm telling you this the first thing. And anybody listening too, because if you want to play, I think the loop they did, I put it as compared to Rage 2 for me. And you know how much I love Rage 2.
You did. You're a big fan of that.
The loop that they do is something magical. Like they're onto something. Like that's why millions of people, I don't know how many people are playing, but I would guess a lot of people are playing this because it's a very satisfying loop. And if you have it on, let's say your gear's good enough or you have the world tier down enough and you're not just sitting like there for 5 minutes, like fighting one person, then all the magic abilities or your mutant abilities, you just keep using them. And I could talk about this for a while, but remember Doom Eternal, how I didn't like the rush in to get health back, right?
Yeah, they have that mechanic where they want you to play really aggressively, yeah.
That's what this game is, and I like it because I'm not thinking about ammo like I was in Doom Eternal. By the way, I'm sorry. I don't know. I have like helicopters flying by my
that's fine.
my road. In Doom Eternal, I was worried about ammo, right? This one, I'm not really worried as much. Also, I have all these like 3 different magical abilities that I've worked on and know the flow of. So my character is Devastator. I can go in, put my armor on, then I can do a earthquake thing, then I can roll out of the way, and I can jump up in the air, floating in the air for a minute, target somebody, attack them. By the time I've done all that stuff, my first one is cooldown's almost over. So it's like this perfect loop of like doing abilities and shooting. And when it's not on world tier fucking 15, it feels good. Like it feels really good. I can't explain it. Anyways, last thing I'll say is, or 2 last things. One, back to the idea of I'm going to finish it tonight. Once you finish the game on, let's say, early world tier, and you just get the fucking story they're trying to tell you, you can go back, right? And you can do the grind, you can do expeditions, and then you can do the other thing they want you to do, which is go up in world tiers and stuff. Yeah.
And that's the part that I'm not going to care about.
Right, and I might not either, but the point is, I don't think enough people are talking about, or there's some weird online machismo going on.
I mean, I don't hear anybody talking about the story. All I hear about is like,
right.
Oh, I like the grind. I'm getting the guns and I'm moving up the tiers. That's all I hear about. Yeah.
Dude, at some point, I don't even want to spoil. Well, I don't know if you'll play it, but the people listening, I don't want to spoil. But there's like some interesting turns, like sci-fi movie turns. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Anyways, I speak highly of that, and I will probably beat it tonight. And I think if you want a Mass Effect game before the Mass Effect trilogy comes out, this is Mass Effect on low world tiers, and then also there's expeditions and stuff like that you can do right after. So like just beat it on a low tier, and then go back and then play with your friends, because then you'll have like your character you like. You know, I mean that's a rarity to be able to play a game like that, and then go back and use your character like a Destiny or something.
How long are we talking about? If I kept it on world tier 1, I'm probably not going to play this game anyway. But just out of curiosity. If I kept it on World Tier 1 just to get the Mass Effect sci-fi stuff, how long of a story mode are we talking about here?
Based on, it's crazy. In each little new map you go to, there's like 2 or 3 side missions. So I stopped finally doing those, Like I'm like, okay, I'm going to mainline it.
Okay.
So if you just mainline it, like 20 hours?
Okay.
Like, or not, I mean, it's a short RPG, right? It'd be like considered if you mainline it, maybe even 15. Like, I feel like I can really fly through areas. Anyways, I can't speak highly enough of it. I don't know if I'll ever do that full on grind. Knowing me, I probably won't. But it's not about that. Like, I've been enjoying the loop to play the campaign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like using the abilities and doing the shooting and then getting more story is a great thing for me. We talked about Mass Effect, and we'll talk about it on this podcast when it comes out with the trilogy. Like, I had problems when I played Mass Effect 2 with its combat, And wasn't that the one that was janky combat?
I mean, that was when they went heavy into the Gears of War mode, and it wasn't great. I mean, the
cover I don't think I liked. Yeah. But so I'm just like, if I could mix those 2 genres, like Gears of War, well, many genres, Gears of War, Doom Eternal, Destiny with Mass Effect.
Okay, that's quite a number of elements there. That's the box score. All right, well that's something. I mean, you are legitimately the first person I have heard who mentioned anything about the story, so I guess that's good to know for sure. I don't know that I'm in the market for this, but again, it's on Game Pass. I could go play it for free if I felt like it. Anybody out there who's got Game Pass can also give it a try for free. And I think that's really one of the best things about Game Pass, right? Like I was talking to somebody the other day, a while ago, and they were like, kind of like shit talking Game Pass, like, oh, they don't have games I'm interested in, and they don't have the Sony exclusives and all this kind of thing. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's all true, but for you anyway. But like the value, to me, the value of trying a game like this, where I may like it, maybe I won't, but I don't have to gamble $60 on finding out, is really worth it. And you get so many different games you can just dip into. I
Yep.
mean, that to me in itself has a great deal of value. Absolutely. So
And
I
I
love
think,
Game Pass for that.
yeah, and I think they were just talking about that on the Beyond podcast or something, one of those IGN podcasts where, PlayStation has to think about that. What are they going to do? Because PlayStation Now is not the answer.
No.
And their subscription that you get a couple free games, it might not be the games I want to play.
Yeah. And if you don't like them, you got to wait a whole other month, and maybe you don't like next month's either. It's not a great solution.
So you got to think that they're already working on it. Like there's just no reason not to,
Yeah.
it works, that service works.
Well, and the side note to this also is like this kind of circles back to Microsoft's real cheerleading efforts for like backwards compatibility, something that Sony is really falling down on. I mean, having Game Pass and having all those games that are available, like there's a lot of older games on there as well, which I think is great. Like there's a lot of games that people haven't played that I think are pretty quality, and having those available in this kind of a service, maybe this is the way forward for like game archiving, or like keeping
as preservation.
yeah, as preservation, right? Like maybe this is a good way forward for this, where we keep this in mind, we develop for it, and then these games can be around. Like sometimes I'll watch a movie from like the silent era. I've watched silent movies with my kid because they're really cool. Or I'll watch something from the 20s, or I'll watch something from the 40s or the 50s. I want to be able to do that with like older games too, right? And I think Game Pass is maybe a good way to do that possibly. So I would like to see everybody kind of get on board with something similar. And I think that Sony, I mean, regardless of archiving purposes, definitely you are correct in saying that PS Now and PS Plus, it just ain't cutting it right now. Game Pass is putting that shit to shame.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to have the option to play both, and use both PlayStations, Xbox. So, but yeah, final thought again, Outriders. Rage 2 is probably one of my favorite shooting mechanics. I know that's an unusual statement too. Got a lot of people don't even know about Rage 2 or played it, but for me, it was very, very satisfying loop of shooting. And this is my second favorite. It's really right up there. Wow. It just feels great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a surprise to me because, man, I was allergic to that demo, but I hear you talking, and maybe I will give it a shot on the old Game Pass. We'll see.
World Tier 0 or whatever the first one is, 1 or something.
Absolutely. All right, folks, that is it for this week. Had a lot of content, but we are now dry and we are getting ready to go. But before we go, we love to get your questions and comments. Hit us up, sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com. And send us anything. We'll answer anything. Like, I mean, seriously, it might lead to a tangent, might lead to a joke. You never know. Send us anything. We'd love to hear from you. Also, we are on Twitter as a show @SevVideoGames, but you can reach us individually. Carlos, where are you funneling your traffic this week?
We should probably change the ending, and it's just going to be youtube.com/a-lot-of-things.
Okay.
We'll just be like, and Carlos, you check out Carlos on his YouTube channel. What's that again? And I'll go, it's a lot of things.
All right. Well, I mean, I can change the script. We can do that. We'll see.
I mean, we don't have to make it serious or anything, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think there's going to be, I'm really focusing on it, like it's weekly content. We got a schedule. Oh my goodness, a schedule. Mondays is the podcast, which by the way, I'll be talking to Robbie from Dragon Audit on the next one. Yeah.
Excellent.
And then Tuesday, there's a game talk video where I talk about game stuff. And then there's Thursday, which is comedy sketch. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
It's serious when you got a schedule.
Oh, I got a schedule.
All right. As for me, same as usual. Instagram, Twitter, it's my name, BradGallaway, all A's, no O's. And that is going to do it for episode 228. Thank you all again for joining us here on the So Video Games podcast, and we'll see you next Friday. But in the meantime, this is bye from Brad.
And boo from Carlos. That was a ghost from Cozy Corner. It's not Cozy Corner. What's it called? Cozy Grove is what I meant.
Oh, man.
Keeping it in.
And say hello to the Devil Flame when you get there.
There's no Devil Flame. He's a nice little fire. He's a nice little campfire.